Hello, this is Editing Jennifer, and I just coming to do a little intro to this video. This is my July TBR video, which I have filmed. I filmed it at the end of June, but I haven't yet gotten it online. I've been going through some real life stuff that has kind of gotten in the way of me uploading videos. It's kind of gotten in the way of me watching videos, so if I haven't watched one of your videos yet, please don't take that as a sign of lack of interest. It's more just lack of time. I've got my mom coming, well, she's here now visiting, and that's been eating up a lot of time. And I started homeschooling, which ate up some time, and just some personal stuff. So I do have my July TBR, and I do have my June wrap up filmed. They just need to be edited and put up. So I'm going to work on that and get those up. I probably won't do a mid-month check-in, but I have been keeping up with my reading. That's the only thing I've been keeping up with, but I have been keeping up with my reading. So I will get those videos up. I want to do, so this month I'm doing a lot of SPIFBO 9 books, the indie and self-published books, and I want to do some reviews on some of those books that I've read. And right now I'm in the middle of a readathon, yes, and a read-along of the John Gwynn's books, starting with Malice. So I've got a lot going on right now, and I apologize for being late on bringing you videos, and I hope to be a little bit more consistent going forward. I appreciate your patience. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming and visiting me. My name is Jennifer, and this is Jen the Bookworm. Thank you for coming, and if you have been here before and you support my channel already, I really appreciate you. I appreciate your continued support. But if you're brand new, I hope that you will consider giving me a like. I hope that you will consider subscribing. I hope that I will earn that subscription from you. I am really trying to make a push towards 100 subscribers, and I'm almost there. And so if you could help me out with that, that would be awesome. Today I am bringing you my July TBR, but also an announcement that I will be doing yet another readathon. This will be my third readathon this year, which is insane. And this is kind of an insane month for me to do a readathon because I am starting to homeschool my daughter this month. As well as my mom is coming to visit this month. And so it's going to be busy, busy, busy already. And then I'm going to add a readathon on top of that. So we'll see how that works out. I apologize to my team leader, whomever that person is, because they haven't assigned people yet as of today. It's June 30th right now. So as of today, they haven't assigned people yet. So I apologize to my future team leader in advance if I don't get all 5 books read. But I'm going to really bust my butt to try to do that. So this readathon is centered around SPIFBO 9. So if you don't know what SPIFBO is, it is a contest where 300 books are divided among 10 bloggers or booktubers, and they take the 30 books that they got and they kind of whittle it down to the best book that they have. And then the 10 best books are in competition to see which book is the winner of SPIFBO 9. And so it's a lot of self-published and indie authors who are competing. And this is a contest that is put on by Mark Lawrence, who's an author, a traditionally published author. And there's a couple other people who you know, are involved in that as well. But I believe he's the one who founded it. So this month, the Keymark Readathon is really trying to focus on SPIFBO books and indie published books. That's what I'm going to be trying to read as well. So the rules. There are 5 books max, 15-point max that you can earn. I know that they do have some sort of mechanism for those people who can read much more than 5 books in a month. In the past 2 readathons, there will be a handful of people who have read their 5 books in the first 2 weeks of the month. And then the next 2 weeks, they become less involved in the readathon because they're not reading. So to encourage those really fast readers to be able to contribute throughout and maybe earn more points for their team or whatnot. There is a mechanism for that, but since I already feel like I might struggle with the 5 books, I didn't look into what that is, so I'm not going to try to do more than 5 books anyway. But so for me, 5 books max, 15 points max. It has to be science fiction or fantasy. Books are anthologies. They have to have a minimum of 200 pages, except for there's one bonus point for a novella. You have to follow their prompts, which are very, general and easy to work your TBR into. And there's 5 bonus points for that you can add to each book, and you get bonus points if you also put a review on Amazon, Goodreads, or Storygraph. So that's how you get your points. Like I said, I've done this readathon twice. Not this theme, but Keymark readathon twice. I've always managed to get my full points, so I'm hoping to be able to do so again this time, but I'm going to be gentle with myself in case I can't. So the prompts, just to kind of quickly move through them, is they have kind of a beach or vacation or vibe going on with this one. And so it's Earth vacation, which means you go to a different world or a different planet. So if the book takes place on not Earth, then that would qualify. And there's so many. There's just like way more science fiction and fantasy books that don't take place on Earth than there are that do. So almost any book could go into that prompt. The second one is Summer Abroad, translated from an original language. So if you read, like, say, The Witcher or something like that, it's translated. Bon Voyage. The story includes a ship, either a sea, air, or space ship. A Dip in the Ocean. And this is where you can read a manga or a novella, and so there's no page minimum. But you can only do that prompt once. You can't repeat these prompts. So they do give you a little bit of the ability to read a novella or something like that, but just one. Weekend Beach Read, which is reading somewhere in between 200 to 350 pages. So kind of a smaller end book. The next one is A Long Vacation, which is a 500 plus page book. It's actually easier to find those than the 200 to 350 sometimes. So that's what that one is. Then there's Dairy Queen, which means the book has a female protagonist. There's Rucksack Trekking Supplies, which means the cover includes a weapon of some sort. Wild Summer, which means the cover includes an animal, a beast, or a dragon. Sandcastles means that the cover includes a castle or fortress of some sort. Beach Vibes, the cover includes water or sand. And Bonds of Summer, which means you can buddy read with somebody in the readathon to get a point. So those are the main prompts. They do have 5 bonus prompts. They have that it's a SPIFBO 9 entry. So one of the 300 books that got submitted to SPIFBO 9. Indie author, debut author, standalone or only one book released in the series so far, or a sequel and prequel. Now you can only use those once each, except for the SPIFBO 9 entry. You can use that one as many times as you want to. So that's to encourage maximum reading of SPIFBO 9 contestants. So then there's, of course, the bonus points. That's for putting up a review. So with those in mind, I created my July TBR. I really wanted to get involved in SPIFBO. I wanted to read more indie. This seemed like a really great place to start with indie. And, put reviews out and to hopefully help fellow indie authors, which I don't really consider. I have written, and I even have published, but I don't. It needs to be taken down and re-edited and stuff like that. So I would hope that being surrounded by a bunch of writers and stuff, and I am when I'm some of these booktube groups includes a lot of writers and such, that will get me back into while I do writing, I don't do any of the other things that need to be done for publishing. So one day maybe I'll be among one of the SPIFBO contestants, but I am not. And so the part that I can play now is by reviewing and reading them, and I'm helping to try to remove the stigma of self-pub or indie published books. So with that in mind, I picked quite a few indie published books and SPIFBO books. Most of them are SPIFBO books. So the first book that I want to read is called Seekers, The Winds of Change, and that's by Troy Knowlton. It is 358 pages. I will be using audiobook, and the prompt that this will satisfy is sandcastles. It's got a castle on the front of it. And the bonus point is that it's a SPIFBO 9 entry. Now, I happen to be acquainted with Troy, in that we were both were in a couple of Discords together, and we were both moderating on the Keymark Discord. I'm no longer moderating there, but when I was, we were moderating together and such. So I kind of know him, and I was wanting to pick up his book just to read something by someone I know. So now I shall be doing that. The next book is The Tale of the Border Knight, a Keymark novella by A.R. Witham. And that is 73 pages. I will be accessing it by audio. The prompt that it fits is A Dip in the Ocean, the one that you can use for a novella. And the bonus is that it's a sequel or a prequel. It is a prequel to his book, The Legend of Blackjack, which I read for the January Keymark readathon that I was a part of, and I loved it. I loved his book. It was so fun, and it was very fun. It was very good. A lot of good adventure and stuff like that. Very kind of unique character, main character in there. So I'm excited to read this next installment. It's just a little novella he did, I guess, to add more context to the world. And so I'm glad to be able to read that in this readathon. The next one is called Becoming a Druid by Mike Molman. Now, just a slight disclaimer, Mike Molman did gift me the audiobook, but he did not gift it to me and ask me to do any certain review or anything like that. So I will review this book and be, very honest, and not allow the fact that he gave me the ebook or the audio to influence one way or the other. But I'm sure it's going to be an awesome book anyway. The premise seems really cool, about a druid, and I don't know. I haven't read a lot about druids, but I'm a D&D player, and I love the druid class, so I'm expecting to love this. It is 375 pages. Again, I'm accessing it by audio. The prompt that it fits will be Earth Vacation, and the bonus is that it is a SPIFBO 9 entry. The next one is Deathless Beast by Andrew Meredith. This is 618 pages. It's a chunk one. I am also accessing this by audio, so hopefully the chunkiness of it won't be so bad. This prompt is Long Vacation, which is the 500 plus word prompt, and the bonus point is that he is a SPIFBO 9 entry. Or this book is a SPIFBO 9 entry. So I have come across this author in Discord before. We're part of the same Discord server, and he seems very friendly. He seems like a writer's writer, like he just wants to help other people be able to achieve what he's achieved so far. Tori from Tori Talks has really talked up this book, that it was so good. So I got really excited to read it, and it being a part of SPIFBO 9 gives me a perfect opportunity to add it to my TBR this month and read it. The next book on the list is Pawn's Gambit by Rob J. Hayes. Now, I have heard a lot about Rob J. Hayes in passing. not, I can't think of one specific. Well, I know Tori talks about him. There are other authors though there are other booktubers though that have spoken about him, and they really seem to like his book. So I wanted to see what it's all about, and so I decided to pick this one up. It is 354 pages long. I will be accessing it by audio, and the prompt that it will fulfill is the rucksack trekking supplies, because it's got some weapons on it. And the bonus is that it's a Spiff Bonine entry. I'm sure you are detecting a theme. But so I'm really excited to read this. It seems like a little bit of a faster pace, a little bit of a smaller book, especially compared to Deathless Beasts. So I'm looking forward to it. So those are the 5 books that I'm looking forward to reading in my July TBR for the readathon. But there is one more book that I'm adding into this. So some of the people from the Grimoire Discord, in particular Theo from Rekindled Reader and RJ from RJ Reads, wanted to do some buddy reading through John Gwynn's Faithful and the Fallen series, 4-part series, starts with Malice. And I had read Malice back in December of 2022, but I never continued on with the series. Not because it wasn't good, just there were so many things to read. It just was something that was kind of pushed back. And I had Valor, which is the second book, on my TBR a couple of times. I had it in my April TBR for the readathon, but then I started reading the First Law trilogy and quickly made room for the second book in the First Law trilogy, and Valor was out. So I really do want to continue with this series. I really enjoyed Malice, and I hear it just gets better and better as we go. But the guys from Grimoire Discord are getting together with the guys from the channel The Brothers Gwyn. The Brothers Gwyn are brothers who are the sons of John Gwyn, who have a booktube channel. You've likely heard of them. They're pretty big, and they're pretty cool, and they have a lot of really cool insights into different fantasy and science fiction and stuff like that. But in particular, they're very familiar with these books, as you could imagine, being their father is the writer. So those two groups are kind of getting together to do a buddy read that I'm joining in on, and I'm sure there's other people who are joining in on as well. So I really want to start reading. I'm going to reread Malice, so it'll be a reread for me. And I'm accessing it through audiobook just to kind of give you context in the same way that I did the Spiffbo stuff. It is 648 pages. I am accessing it through audiobook. And it's not for the readathon, but I'm going to really, really enjoy reading this for the read along with everyone. And I hope that there's some way for all of us to kind of get together to chat about it. Like they join the Discord or something at some point, because it would be really cool to be able to chat alongside the author's sons as we're reading this. So I'm really looking forward to that. That sounds like a lot of fun. So that is my TBR for July. In addition to all of this, I am still reading Tress in the Emerald Sea on Kindle, and I hope to also finish that in July. We'll see if I do or not. I am putting quite a lot on here. We'll see what happens. But Tress in the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. It's very, very good so far. It's very whimsical. And I started it in June, but because I'm reading it on my Kindle, I just didn't have the time or make the time to dedicate to reading. So I haven't finished it yet. And so that's another book that I'm hoping to get finished this month. So there you have it. That's what I'm going to read this month. So thank you for spending some time with me, and I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.